एक कवि ने कुछ ऐसा कहा, एक दिया ऐसा जलाना है जो रोशनी दे शालीनता की, प्रगति की, परिवर्तन की और मानवीय सहनशीलता की। एक दिया ऐसा जलाना है जो हिम्मत दे हर मुश्किल में, अंधकार को चीर निकलने की ताकत दे हर मंजिल में। We have our chief guest here for this evening. May I request Mrs. Preeti Patel to please be seated on the dais. We will be starting our function with the national anthem, so may I please request all of you to kindly rise on your places.
जनगणमन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता, पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल गंगा, विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा। तव शुभ नामे जागे, तव शुभ आशीष मांगे, गाहे तव जय गाथा। जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता, जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे।
Please be seated. If I could request everyone in the hall to please take their seats. On August 15, 1974, at the stroke of midnight, India achieved independence from the British rule. While jubilation broke out over a hard-fought freedom, the joy was marred by the grisly partition of our country. With country in flames, the then Prime Minister called on the Christian community to bring help and hope to the suffering communities. Unstintingly, the National Christian Council formed the Relief Committee. And from this moment, the seeds of India's oldest NGO, the Church's Auxiliary for Social Action, CASA as it is known today, were formed. CASA has served the nation and its vast diversity of people for more than 7 decades now and has today grown into one of India's longest serving NGOs, always putting people first. Today, we work in 26 states, spanning the length and breadth of the country, and have partnered with over 500 diverse organizations. We have worked in more than 10,000 remote and inaccessible villages and have made positive changes in the lives of more than 8 million marginalized people. With 75 years of aiding the communities behind us, we still proclaim to be an organization evolving and improving in our unhampered passion and burning zeal to continue serving the people of this country. CASA has not succumbed to challenges that came in its way, and it continues to stay relevant. This, ladies and gentlemen, is exactly what we are celebrating today. The Platinum Jubilee marks the celebration of life of CASA as a premier social development organization of the country and 7 decades of its selfless service. Greetings of a good evening to the august gathering of dignitaries, civil society organizations, community leaders, representatives from the media houses, and my CASA colleagues present here. I, Ekta, your host for the evening, extend a very warm welcome to each one of you who have given time and are present here to be a participant in the Platinum Jubilee celebration of CASA. Thank you for being a part of this important milestone in the life of this organization and making it all the more important for us. एक कवि ने कुछ ऐसा कहा, एक दिया ऐसा जलाना है जो रोशनी दे शालीनता की, प्रगति की, परिवर्तन की और मानवीय सहनशीलता की। एक दिया ऐसा जलाना है जो हिम्मत दे हर मुश्किल में, अंधकार को चीर निकलने की ताकत दे हर मंजिल में। May I please invite the dignitaries on stage to light the lamp. Let us light the lamp of love in our hearts, the lamp of compassion to serve others, the lamp of justice and peaceful radiance, and the lamp of gratitude for the abundance that the Divine has bestowed on us. Thank you so much. With more than 3 decades of experience of working in the development sector, he has been a pioneer in analyzing the developmental issues in the country and the South Asian region. Working with CASA since 1980, he's a CASA veteran and continues to play a key role in facilitating the developmental goals of this organization. And this, I must say, his commitment to serve the people in his capacity is unfaltering. The former chairperson of WANI, the current chairperson of the Credibility Alliance, and the head of program of CASA. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dr. Jayant Kumar as I call upon him to come and welcome our honorable chief guest for the evening.
आदरणीय मंत्री महोदय और डायस पे बैठे हमारे डायरेक्टर साहब श्री सुशांत अग्रवाल जी, हमारे चेयरमैन साहब और प्रीति पटेल जी जो हमारी सहभागी रही हैं काफ़ी समय से, ये आप सभी का हम तहे दिल से स्वागत करते हैं। और ख़ास करके हम सर आपका बहुत बहुत आपके आभारी हैं कि आप, हमें मालूम है कि किन कठिन परिस्थितियों में आप आए हैं और आपने इस ओकेजन को ग्रेस किया है। आप गुजरात में थे और वहाँ से इस कार्यक्रम को में उपस्थित होने के लिए वो आए हैं और शायद वो फिर इनको वापस जाना पड़े। 9:30 बजे की इनकी फ़्लाइट है, तो इससे हम बहुत बहुत इसके लिए आभारी हैं। ऑनरेबल मिनिस्टर साहब श्री फग्गन सिंह कुलहस्त जी जो हैं वो अभी सर्विंग मिनिस्टर ऑफ स्टेट हैं रूरल डेवलपमेंट और स्टील गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया के, और इनका इलेक्शन 17वें पार्लियामेंट में लोकसभा में हुआ है अभी जो ये है, और ये मांडला कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंसी को ये रिप्रेजेंट करते हैं। और इसके साथ साथ में सर की उपलब्धि ये है कि ये 11वें लोकसभा, 12वें लोकसभा, 13वें लोकसभा, 14वें लोकसभा, 16वें लोकसभा और 17वें लोकसभा के भी सदस्य रहे हैं। इसके साथ साथ ये राज्यसभा के भी सदस्य रहे हैं। और इनका जन्म बारबती गांव में डिस्ट्रिक्ट मांडला में हुआ है और इन्होंने अपनी पढ़ाई जो है सो MA, BEd, LLB ये पूरी करी है। इन्होंने इंडियन पॉलिटिक्स को ज्वाइन किया था एज मेंबर ऑफ लेजिस्लेटिव असेंबली MLA के रूप में, और अभी तक ये 6 बार विभिन्न मिनिस्ट्रियों की जिम्मेदारी ले चुके हैं। स्टेट मिनिस्टर ऑफ पार्लियामेंट्री अफेयर्स अक्टूबर टू नवंबर 99 में अटल बिहारी वाजपेयी जी के नेतृत्व में, उसके बाद स्टेट मिनिस्टर फॉर ट्राइबल अफेयर्स वो भी श्री अटल बिहारी वाजपेयी जी के नेतृत्व में, स्टेट मिनिस्टर फॉर हेल्थ एंड फैमिली वेलफेयर आदरणीय नरेंद्र मोदी जी हमारे प्रधानमंत्री जी के उस पिछले काल में, और उसके बाद यूनियन स्टेट मिनिस्टर स्टेट अभी जो हैं वो ऑनवर्ड्स हैं, अभी कंटिन्यू कर रहे हैं। तो ये 6 बार जो है तो आप इनकी लोकप्रियता का और इनकी जो पार्टी में जो इनकी पकड़ है इसका अंदाज जो है सो आप इससे लगा सकते हैं। और ये बीजेपी में संस्था में ये नेशनल प्रेसिडेंट बीजेपी शेड्यूल ट्राइब मोर्चा के 2004 और 2010 में 2 टर्म में ये रहे हैं, और जनरल सेक्रेटरी भारतीय जनता पार्टी मध्य प्रदेश 2006 से लेकर 2010 तक 2 टर्म में रहे हैं। ये सर बहुत सारे नॉन पॉलिटिकल संस्थाओं से भी जुड़े हुए हैं, और जैसे अखिल भारतीय आदिवासी विकास परिषद मध्य प्रदेश है, उससे ये नेशनल सेक्रेटरी इंचार्ज हैं बीजेपी के एसटी सेल के, स्टेट जनरल सेक्रेटरी इंचार्ज हैं बीजेपी के एसटी सेल के, प्रेसिडेंट हैं अखिल भारतीय आदिवासी विकास परिषद के, पैट्रन हैं अखिल भारतीय गौंड संघ के सिंस 1998। मिनिस्टर साहब से हमारा परिचय थोड़ा पहले से है, क्योंकि काम के सिलसिले में सर से हमारी मुलाकात होती रहती है, होती रही है पहले, और जो भी हमने समझा है वो सर एक है तो पॉलिटिशियन, लेकिन एक बहुत नम्र हृदय के पॉलिटिशियन जिसको कहते हैं, वो एक नम्र हृदय के पॉलिटिशियन है। और इन्होंने मांडला में ही नहीं, अपने क्षेत्र में तो इन्होंने बहुत सारे काम किए हैं, जैसे गरीब बच्चों के लिए स्कूल, बच्चियों के लिए स्कूल बनाना, और हर एक प्रकार की जो व्यवस्था है, हर एक प्रकार की जो संसाधन सरकार के पास उपलब्ध है, इनके अपने व्यक्तिगत संसाधन, ये सब इन्होंने गरीब और पिछड़े वर्ग के लोगों के लिए, आदिवासी और दलित समुदाय के लोगों के लिए इन्होंने अपना समय, पूरा समय उसमें लगाते हैं, उसमें योगदान देते हैं। तो ये बहुत, जिसको हम कहते हैं कि गोल्डन हार्ट का ना, सोने का दिल वाले एक हमारे नेता हैं। और आप ये ही देख सकते हैं कि हमारे सिविल सोसाइटी के कामों का भी ये काफ़ी सराहना करते हैं, और हमारे सभी कामों में इन्होंने बहुत योगदान दिया है, और हमेशा हमारे अनुरोध पे उपस्थित रहते हैं। हम इनका बहुत बहुत हार्दिक स्वागत करते हैं दोबारा से।
अब मैं अनुरोध करना चाहूँगी डायरेक्टर साहब से कि हमारे मुख्य अतिथि का अभिनंदन करें। हमें से बहुत लोगों ने तितलियां देखी होंगी, और हमें से बहुत लोग ये भी जानते होंगे कि तितलियों का जन्म तितली के रूप में नहीं होता। I'm sure many of us have seen butterflies, and you know, butterflies are not born butterflies. There are different stages in the metamorphosis of these creatures. This is the story of CASA too. Many of us here know that CASA was not born as CASA. What started as the National Christian Council Relief Committee in 1947 became Committee on Relief and Gift Supplies, or CORAGS, in 1955, Christian Agency for Relief and Social Action in 1967, and Christian Agency for Social Action, Relief and Development in 1970. A big change came when this agency became autonomous in 1976, and finally, Churches Auxiliary for Social Action, or CASA, was born. This is the story of the transformation of CASA, or as I call it, the metamorphosis of CASA. And who could be a better man to talk about this metamorphosis than Dr. Sushant Agrawal himself, who has been leading CASA from the front as its director for more than 2 decades now. Sir, may I please invite you to take the dais and share your reflections on CASA's journeys for the last 75 years.
Thank you very much, Ekta. माननीय मंत्री जी, आपका बहुत आभार हम मानते हैं कि आप हमारे बीच में हैं। और ये अभी he has just landed. He came from Gujarat only for this program, and he is leaving by 9:30 flight again back to Patna. So we are very thankful to you, sir, that you made time for us. And I will be speaking bilingual, so that those friends who need some translation, may I request people who are sitting beside them, please help them in the translation. Well, when you talk about reflection about CASA, she has already talked about the transformation, और 75 साल का होना ये एक बहुत बड़ी बात है किसी भी संस्था के जीवन में, किसी भी मनुष्य के जीवन में, और ये कोई छोटी मोटी उपलब्धि नहीं होती है, क्योंकि हमारे जीवन से अगर जुड़ा हुआ चीज़ देखें, देन वी गो थ्रू आवर लाइफ running into 75 years, we achieve so much in our lifetime. Sometimes we struggle also in our lifetime. So something of similar nature has happened in CASA also. 75 साल की जो यात्रा रही है वो केवल बहुत अच्छी रही है ऐसी बात नहीं है, और जो अच्छी रही है हमने उससे सीखने की कोशिश की है, जो अच्छी नहीं रही है उससे भी हमें बहुत कुछ सीखने का मौका मिला है। और मैं याद करता हूँ 47 का वो दृश्य, दैट पर्टिकुलर सीन वेयर hundreds and thousands of people were troubled because of the unrest which people had to see due to the unfortunate partition of this country. And if you recollect some of the images of trains, you know, overloaded trains going from India to Pakistan, Pakistan to India, because the inflow and outflow of the people, and just you can imagine the hardship which people had gone through. And that time CASA was born. And why CASA was invited? Because that time some of the bishops जिनको कि बुलाया गया, उनको बोला गया कि आप शायद दोनों कम्युनिटी के लिए एक्सेप्टेबल होंगे, तो आप आइए, प्लीज कम एंड हेल्प पीपल हु आर इन ट्रबल. एंड दैट सिंस दैट टाइम वी नेवर thought that we are created to help only one particular community, and that is one of the major character of CASA, that since last 75 years, I myself, I have spent almost 42 years. I have seen more than half of CASA, and many people alleged, उन्होंने हम पर लांछन लगाया कि हम लोगों को कन्वर्शन करते हैं, राइट? मेरे यहाँ जो काम करते हैं उसमें 80% ऐसे हैं जो कि नॉन क्रिश्चियन हैं. हमारे यहाँ मुस्लिम काम करते हैं, हमारे यहाँ हिंदू काम करते हैं, हमारे यहाँ ईसाई काम करते हैं. एंड दैट इज वन ऑफ द मोस्ट मोस्ट I will say acclaimed perspective of CASA, because we have never worked with only one community. We were created to help people, those who were in trouble, and we have continued doing that. And I was in school, मैं स्कूल में था, 65, 66, 67 की बात है, जबकि मैं कासा के बारे में उस समय क्लास 8, 9 में मैं रहा हूँगा. और मुझको याद है कि मेरे स्कूल में कासा के द्वारा पहुँचाए गए गेहूँ और तेल और दूध वगैरह हमारे स्कूल में भी आते थे. It used to come to our school because it was a tribal school where I have grown up. I come from a place called Chaibasa, where I have grown up, which is about 100 kilometers from Ranchi. And we have seen how people were helped. And it was a very significant moment for CASA, because under PL 480, Public Law 480, there was special agreement between CASA, Government of India and USA. There was a tripartite agreement under which these commodities used to be coming to India. And there was another significant change, because there was unilateral decision in CASA to stop PL 480. Now that time CASA became resourceless. Today afternoon we were talking about how do you survive when you don't have resources. But CASA उस समय भी उन परिस्थितियों से गुजरी और मजबूत होकर उभरी, क्योंकि उसके बाद यूरोपियन काफ़ी एजेंसी सामने आई और उन्होंने कहा कि ठीक है, हम आपके साथ खड़े हैं, क्योंकि आप एक लॉन्ग टर्म सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट को आप करें जहाँ पे जीवन का बदलाव देखने को मिले. और मुझे बड़ी खुशी है कि हमारे बीच में 5 लोग ऐसे भी उपस्थित हैं. हमारे मंत्री जी को थोड़ी जल्दी है, तो इसीलिए हमने ट्विक किया है प्रोग्राम को। हम उन्हें बाद में बुला के उनका भी फेलिसिटेट करेंगे, उनको भी, क्योंकि कैसे कासा ने उनके जीवन को परिवर्तन कर दिया। और आज वो जो यहाँ पे उपस्थित हैं, those who have come from the community, they themselves have become leader to transform the life of others, and that is how people helping people. I think that we have made that slogan true. In reality, that is happening, and you will meet symbolically. We have brought 5 people from the field, and of course, when we started again in 71, Bangladesh war, and then the refugees came to India. So it has gone through different moments of changes, different moment of understanding of development perspective, which kept on changing. Because in CASA we feel that when you have compassion on somebody, compassion radically changes the life of the people. It's not a pity. You are not taking a pity on somebody's condition, but compassion is when you are changing the life of the people. And I think there, मंत्री जी, आपने देखा है हमारा काम, और हमारे बहुत कामों को ये खुद जाकर देखे हैं, और मैं बहुत धन्यवादित हूँ सर आपका कि आपने खुद से देखा है हमारा काम, लोगों से बातचीत किए हैं। तो ये एक बड़ी उपलब्धि रही है कासा की यात्रा में कि हम 75 साल के तो हो गए, लेकिन आज भी एक सवाल पूछने की ज़रूरत है कि आप कितने रेलेवेंट हैं। आप क्या बूढ़े हो गए या फिर से जवानी आ रही है आपकी? और वो जवानी मैं इसलिए बोल रहा हूँ कि अगर आप एक्सक्यूज़ मी, अगर आप रेलेवेंट नहीं है आज के कॉन्टेक्स्ट में, तो फिर आपकी संस्था का कोई आस्था नहीं है। Then you need not be alive, even if you have become 75. But if you have learnt, and if you have learned from your engagement with the community, and then you have made changes in the organization, and you have brought changes in the strategies of the organization where you remain relevant, then that is the best journey in the life of any organization. And I was telling during the afternoon that a listening organization is always a learning organization, and a learning organization is a living organization, and that is what has happened with CASA. We have listened to the people. We have listened to the pains of the people. We have learned from that, and we have changed ourselves, and that's why we are alive. And I wish my colleagues have worked so hard in the field. Today Jagdanand ji was telling that CASA has gone to the most unreached areas. कभी कभी मुझको लोग पूछते थे कि why media coverage is not there for me, for CASA's work. And I said, हम मीडिया के कवरेज के भूखे नहीं हैं, हम पेपर में आना नहीं चाहते हैं, हम तो लोगों की सेवा करना चाहते हैं, वो कोई भी हो। तो इसलिए ये जो जर्नी रही है बहुत सिग्निफिकेंट जर्नी रही है, और आप सबों का सहयोग रहा है, इसके लिए मैं आपको धन्यवाद देता हूँ। आज शाम में आप यहाँ पे उपस्थित हैं, हमारे साथ में आपकी सहयोगिता है, एंड थैंक यू ऑल वेरी मच फॉर योर प्रेजेंस, एंड दैट्स अ बिग ब्लेसिंग फॉर ऑल ऑफ अस हियर। और सर फिर से मैं आपको धन्यवाद देता हूँ, और आप लोगों को जय हिंद।
थैंक यू सर। क्या मैं प्रार्थना कर सकती हूँ हमारे मुख्य अतिथि मंत्री साहब से कि अब आएं और हमें हमारे लिए 2 शब्द कहें।
कासा कि हमारी चेयरमैन डॉक्टर खूबजी, अभी हमारे डायरेक्टर जिनके विचारों को हमने अभी सुन रहे थे, सुशांत अग्रवाल जी, हमारे मंडला से प्रीति पटेल जी, और कुछ मित्र हमारे यहाँ बीच बीच में हमको मिलते रहते हैं। ऐसे सभी मित्रों को मैं धन्यवाद करता हूँ, और विशेषकर इस कार्यक्रम में यहाँ पर उपस्थित सभी संस्था से प्रत्यक्ष अप्रत्यक्ष रूप से जुड़े हुए सभी संस्था के प्रतिनिधियों को भी शुभकामनाएं देता हूँ। अभी जैसे हमारे डायरेक्टर सर अग्रवाल जी ने बताया कि इस संस्था का एक लंबा समय हो गया, वैसे हम आज़ादी का अमृत महोत्सव का ये समय चल रहा है। देश की आज़ादी के 75 साल हुए और जब हम इतने लंबे वर्षों तक ऐसे संस्था के अंदर या किसी देश के लिए या किसी प्रदेश में जब काम करते हैं किसी संस्था के अंदर, तो उसका अपना एक अनुभव होता है और उससे अनुभव से हम समाज के लिए, देश के लिए, इन संस्थाओं के लिए, विशेषकर जनजातीय क्षेत्रों में, मैंने सारे देश भर में सभी जनजातीय क्षेत्रों में मेरा जाना हुआ है और लगातार जब उनके बीच में मैं जाता हूं तो देश में इतनी बहुत सारी संस्थाएं हैं। कुछ सरकार के ओर से उनको आर्थिक सहायता भी दिया जाता है, कुछ सरकार की ऐसी संस्थाएं हैं जो उपक्रम हैं, उनके कुछ CSR से भी कुछ संस्थाएं काम करते हैं, कुछ हमारे बड़े उद्योग घराने हैं, उनकी ओर से भी इस सेक्टर में, CSR के क्षेत्र में अलग अलग 2 ऐसे प्रमुख क्षेत्र हैं जिसमें एजुकेशन और हेल्थ, और ये 2 सेक्टर में हमारे में देखा है। हेल्थ मिनिस्टर के नाते जब मैं काम करता था तो सारे देश भर में और दुनिया में मैं एक समय हेल्थ सेक्टर में जब मैं मिनिस्टर के नाते, तो जितना अच्छा हेल्थ के क्षेत्र में मैंने अभी तक अपने जीवन में देखा है, तो मेरे को 2 बार क्यूबा हेल्थ कैंप, वहाँ के कैंपनिंग, वहाँ के हेल्थ फैसिलिटीज को भी देखा। हमारे जो पड़ोसी कुछ देश है, बहुत ऐसे लोग हैं जो सरकार के साथ में भी, हमारे भूटान, बांग्लादेश, ऐसे कुछ है, ये छोटे छोटे जो कंट्री हैं, उनके जो कंट्री हेड हैं, तो लोगों के साथ में भी हेल्थ सेक्टर में कई ऐसे कॉन्फ्रेंसेस हुए जिनमें जाना हुआ, सहभागी होने का भी अवसर मिला। तो मैंने अनुभव किया कि आज देश में, और आपको मुझे कहते हुए प्रसन्नता है, मैं जब हेल्थ में ज्वाइन किया तो सबसे पहले मैंने नरेंद्र भाई मोदी जी को कहा, प्रधानमंत्री होने के नाते जब मैं ज्वाइन किया और प्रेजेंटेशन सारा देखने के बाद, आज भी देश में 60% लोग ऐसे हैं जो रूरल एरिया के अंदर है और उसमें से मैक्सिमम ट्राइबल क्षेत्र आते हैं जहां पर हेल्थ की कनेक्टिविटी नहीं है, हेल्थ सेक्टर बहुत पुअर है। और इतनी संस्थाएं काम करती हैं इस सेक्टर में, परंतु अभी तक हम इस सेक्टर को जैसा होना चाहिए हमने कवर नहीं किया। तो मैंने एक रिपोर्ट दिया और उनसे कहा, तो मुझे उनने कहा कि इसके बारे में आपके मन में क्या कल्पना है। आपको याद होगा कि बहुत सारे मैंने ऐसे मेडिकल कॉलेजों के अंदर, बहुत सारे हॉस्पिटल, क्लिनिक, सभी में जाना हुआ, बड़े बड़े जितने भी यहाँ पर चाहे अवती हो, वेदांता हो, और जितने हॉस्पिटल्स मैंने इस देश के अंदर देखा है, बड़े संत महात्मा, जितने अच्छे विद्वान हैं, उन लोग भी इस सेक्टर में काम करते हैं। तो वहाँ भी मैंने जा करके व्यक्तिगत तौर से भी जाना हुआ, तो ये एक अनुभव आया। और आप को याद होगा कि मैं 16 में, जब 2016 में जब मैं हेल्थ मिनिस्टर ज्वाइन किया, तो हमारे MBBS की सीट सबसे पहले मैंने बढ़ाया। आपको पता होगा 50,000 सीट हमने इंक्रीज किया, आज तक देश में कभी नहीं हुआ। इसके बाद अब धीरे धीरे मैंने हमने जब देश में MBBS की सीट सैंक्शन की तो सारे जितने भी देश में मेडिकल कॉलेज हैं उनमें सीट की संख्या बढ़ी, और केवल मेडिकल ही नहीं, हमने PG में भी 25,000 सीट बढ़ाया। कभी इस सेक्टर में किसी ने सोचा नहीं, और इसीलिए आज ये जो गांव के अंदर आप देख रहे हैं, जो हमारे खास तौर से ट्राइबल डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स आप देख रहे होंगे, ये जो हमने अपग्रेडेशन किया है, मेडिकल कॉलेज स्थापित किया है, अगर हमारे 300 बेड का डिस्ट्रिक्ट हॉस्पिटल है तो उसको हमने अपग्रेड किया है देश में, और लगभग हमने फर्स्ट टॉक में हमने 75 मेडिकल कॉलेज बढ़ाया, और उसमें पूरे देश के ग्रामीण इलाके शामिल हुए, और लगातार इससे को हम आगे बढ़ा रहे हैं। तो ऐसे अपने कार्य क्षेत्र में अपने अनुभव के आधार पर मैंने सरकार के अंदर भी सरकार को सुझाव भी देता हूं और काम भी करते हैं, और इसलिए मुझे व्यक्तिगत तौर से कई बार इस प्रकार की संस्थाओं, क्योंकि मैं एजुकेशन में काम करता हूं, सारे जितने देश भर के बड़े बड़े इस प्रकार के जो हमारे NGO हैं, मदर NGO हैं, मैं सबके साथ में बैठना हुआ, सबके ही जितने सजेशंस आते हैं उनमें से जो अच्छा हम कर सकते हैं उस प्रकार का भी प्रयास करते हैं। एक बार मैं बहुत पहले, आज से 20 साल पहले, झारखंड में जब नया झारखंड बना तो हमने जितने नक्सली क्षेत्र हैं, बहुत लोग हैं ऐसे क्षेत्रों में, ना हेल्थ में है ना एजुकेशन में, 2 ऐसे क्षेत्र हैं जहां पर ये सारे ट्राइबल एरियाज हैं जो सारे अफेक्टेड होते हैं, और इसके कारण कोई जाता नहीं। मैंने वहां भी कुछ काम शुरू करवाया। आप सोच सकते हैं कि टाटा दुनिया का आज सबसे बड़े इंस्टीट्यूशन है, खासतौर से इंडस्ट्री के क्षेत्र में। आप देखेंगे जमशेदपुर का रूरल एरिया आज से 20 साल, अगर आप एक साइड में देखेंगे, पुराने इतिहास को देखेंगे, हमारे यहाँ एक मित्र है, शायद आए कि नहीं है, तो वो वहाँ का अनुभव बता सकते हैं। हमारे सलकान मुर्मू जी, मैंने, हाँ वो पीछे बैठे हैं, अभी मिल गए थे, तो आप लोगों को भी उनने कहा कि चलिए कार्यक्रम में, तो मैंने अनुभव किया उस समय वास्तव में क्या स्थिति थी। आप पे मैं, इसलिए मैं किसी के बारे में नहीं कह रहा हूं, परंतु मैंने बड़े बड़े संस्थाओं को देखा है, हेल्थ में, एजुकेशन में कितना काम कर पा रहे हैं, नहीं कर पा रहे हैं, और इतना सारा CSR का फंड है, रेज करते हैं अनेक अनेक सेक्टर में। तो इससे ये जो अनुभव आए हैं, हम लोग एक साथ इतना मिलकर के लड़ते थे ऐसे ग्रामीण इलाकों के लिए, खासतौर से ट्राइबल सेक्टर में, ट्राइबल क्षेत्रों में। आज इसका ये परिणाम है कि ये जो थोड़ा चेंजेस आ रहे हैं, और मैं तो वास्तव में प्रधानमंत्री जी को भी बधाई देता हूं कि ये जो एक्सप्रेशन डिस्ट्रिक्टों की जो कल्पना उन्होंने किया, उसमें सबसे कमजोर, सबसे पिछड़ा ऐसे डिस्ट्रिक्ट इस पर हमने कवर किया, और ऐसे डिस्ट्रिक्टों को भी हमने सारे योजनाओं से जोड़ने का एक प्रयास किया। इसमें बहुत सारे हमारे जो संस्थाएं हैं, NGOs हैं, उनसे भी मैंने देखा। मैं यहाँ पर हमारे दिल्ली में एक संस्था है, 1943 से यहाँ पर वो संस्था चल रही है, और उस संस्था का मैंने वहाँ के पुराने जो संस्थापक सदस्य थे उन लोगों से भी मैं मिलता था। आपने सुना होगा एक बनवासी सेवा मंडल भी था, और एक है भारतीय आदिम जाति सेवक संघ, एक और भी एजुकेशन में काम करता था, विनोबा भाभी का। ऐसे देश भर में सबके साथ में मेरा वहाँ के जो भी मैनेजमेंट है उन लोगों से भी संपर्क हुआ। हमारी कुछ संस्था ऐसे भी है, आपने देखा होगा ब्रह्मदेव शर्मा, ये भी ट्विस्ट की तरह कई ऐसे क्षेत्रों में जहाँ अगर कोई नल से लैंड एक्विजिशन के मामले आते हैं, इनके लिए भी, और जितने कुछ है हमारे कुछ रिटायर IAS IPS या सोशल सेक्टर के काम करने वाले लोग, इस प्रकार के बहुत लोग, सबसे बहुत बार मेरा मिलना भी होता है, तो इन सबको लेकर के कई बार चर्चा होती है। और विशेषकर जो आज मैं देख रहा हूँ, जो हमारे कुछ संवेदनशील क्षेत्र है, नक्सली क्षेत्र है, वहाँ आज भी हमारे लोग उतना आगे बढ़े नहीं। आप पूरा छत्तीसगढ़ देखिए, पूरा ये जो बस्तर का हिस्सा है, आंध्रा का क्षेत्र आप देख लीजिए, ये महाराष्ट्र। अगर उस स्टेट के बारे में कहेंगे तो लोग कहते हैं कि औद्योगिक क्षेत्र में क्रांति लाने वाला, परिवर्तन करने वाला ऐसी स्टेट है। परंतु थोड़ा आप साइड में जाएंगे, पहाड़ी क्षेत्र में जाएंगे तो आपको वहाँ की वस्तु स्थिति पता चलेगा। मैंने ऐसे क्षेत्रों में भी जाना हुआ। मैं उस समय ट्राइबल मिनिस्टर के नाते मैंने काम किया 99 में, तो मैं बस्तर उस समय गया जहाँ बिजली नहीं। मैंने बस्तर के अंदर 40-40 गांवों को मैंने 4 व्हीलर, जो छोटी गाड़ी होती है, जीप जिसको हम कहते हैं जंगल में चलने वाली, ऐसे क्षेत्रों में जाना हुआ। तो वहाँ मैंने देखा, उस समय हमने वहाँ पर सोलर का एक प्रयोग मैंने किया था। कभी उन गांवों में पहुँच नहीं। अबुझमाड़ देखिए, ऐसे क्षेत्र हैं जो मैंने दिमाग में सोचा है। इन सब क्षेत्रों का मैंने अध्ययन किया। आप देखिए जो बंगाल और इसका उड़ीसा का भी क्षेत्र आप देखिए, कोरापुर जैसे क्षेत्र हैं। हमारे प्रभु जी जानते हैं उन क्षेत्रों को। वास्तव में बहुत तकलीफ होती है और इसलिए मैं तो बधाई देता हूँ हमारे CASA के प्रतिनिधियों को कि इस क्षेत्र में कम से कम एक अच्छा स्कोप उनने आगे बढ़ाया है। और मैं उनकी सफलता की कामना करता हूं कि ऐसे क्षेत्रों में जब हम काम करते हैं, और इसीलिए मैं जो देखा है, केवल सुना नहीं, मैं व्यक्तिगत तौर से प्रैक्टिकली उन क्षेत्रों में जाना भी हुआ। अभी मुझे चेयरमैन साहब कह रहे थे कि मैं केरल में रहता हूँ। मैंने केरल का सारे ट्राइबल क्षेत्र में गया है, पहाड़ी क्षेत्र। तमिलनाडु का जो क्षेत्र है छोटा पैकेट है, परंतु उन क्षेत्रों में भी जाना होगा, वहाँ के लोगों के साथ में मिलना। आप इधर पूर्वोत्तर की तरफ आप देखिए, ऐसे सभी क्षेत्र। और इसलिए मैं हमारे चेयरमैन साहब को, हमारे डायरेक्टर साहब को और सभी प्रतिनिधियों को भी इस CASA की सफलता के लिए बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं देता हूं और अपने शब्दों को विराम देता हूं। धन्यवाद, नमस्कार।
आपका बहुत बहुत आभार मंत्री जी। हम आपका ज़्यादा समय नहीं लेंगे। CASA has compiled 5 publications which will be released today evening, लेकिन मंत्री जी को क्योंकि जाना है and we have some time constraint, मैं उनसे प्रार्थना करना चाहूँगी कि कॉफ़ी टेबल बुक जो CASA ने इस दिन रिलीज़ करने के लिए सोचा था, दिस इज़ अ कंपाइलेशन ऑफ द जर्नी ऑफ 75 ईयर्स। 75 सालों में CASA ने क्या काम किया है, ये एक कैलाइडोस्कोप है पिक्चर्स का, उन इमेजेस का, उन बातों का, उस कहानी का जो CASA की रही है। और इस कॉफ़ी टेबल बुक का रिलीज़ हम चाहेंगे कि मंत्री जी खुद करें। एंड आई विल ऑल्सो रिक्वेस्ट श्री जगदानंद जी, डॉक्टर जयंत कुमार एंड Dr. Sanjay Patra, if is here, to please come up on the stage and receive the coffee table book once it is released. Thank you. शुक्रिया मंत्री जी। Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Getting back to our program. ये देश जिसमें हम रहते हैं, यहाँ एक बात कही जाती है, अतिथि देवो भवा. The guests which are here with us tonight, उनको हम अभिनंदन कहना चाहेंगे. We would want to felicitate them. First of all, our chairperson of CASA, His Grace Dr. Yaqub Mar Irenaeus, is the present Metropolitan of the Diocese of Kochi, Malankara Orthodox Syrian Church. He has been associated with CASA since 2003 as a national board member. He was the treasurer of CASA from 2015 until 2019 and has been the chairperson of CASA since 2019. He was ordained a deacon in 1970, and since then His Grace has served the church in different capacities, including as the president of Orthodox Youth Movement and the president of Orthodox Christian Bala Samajam. He has also served as the erstwhile manager of Malankara Orthodox Church Colleges and the vice chairperson of Christian Medical College Council and Executive Committee Vellore. The epitome of grace, resilience and humility. Please put your hands together for His Grace Dr. Yaqub Mar Irenaeus, the chairperson of CASA, and may I please request Dr. Jayant Kumar to once again come on the stage and felicitate our chairperson. Thank you, Jen sir. I will now request our chairperson, His Grace Dr. Yaqub Mar Irenaeus, to please come forward and address the gathering.
God's name be praised. A very good evening to every one of you. Now I look like a minister. May I greet our dear minister who has just left, and also Preeti Patel and all the luminaries sitting here, members of the family of CASA and our friends from abroad who have taken all the pains to be here with us, to be part of these celebrations. We in CASA, we feel honored because the minister has come all the way from Gujarat, where we know the election is to take place very soon, and he is returning to Gujarat. A politician, unless he is very polite, will not take such pains to attend a function like this. This is not a political meeting. So we are all grateful to him, not just for that, but from the address he gave in Hindi, I could understand almost all about what he said. A person who knows the villages of India. Gandhiji said, India lives in her villages, among the Adivasis, the poor people, the poorest of the poor, the marginalized, and like that. I am not much familiar with the federal ministers nowadays, but today I am so happy that a minister talks about his own personal experience, interface with the Adivasis, the Dalits in different states, including Kerala. So I thank him in his absence on behalf of the assembly here. Friends, CASA was born before I was born. But the birth of CASA was in a very difficult situation, social situation in India, when at least most of the North India was bleeding, literally bleeding. The first Prime Minister of India took the initiative to tell people, Christian leaders, come and help. Bring some comfort to those people who are suffering. and the leaders responded. There is no consideration of religion, language, or political affiliation or anything. And we have come to our Platinum Jubilee today. We have so much things to recall and recollect. The course we traveled, the travails we faced, and we feel happy seeing the face of those people when they receive some help or the other. Look at their face, their beaming face. Today we have one representative from Chhattisgarh. She was here. She will come again. Yeah. And she has so much to tell us what CASA has been in her life, in her community, in her state. Some people think that CASA, as we heard from our director, is an engine for conversion. And I would repeat again, reaffirm again, conversion is not, absolutely not on the agenda of CASA. But he would like to transform the lives of people. As you see the written there, people helping people. It's a heart-to-heart relationship. I can read to you a small sentence which, in a nutshell, tells us what CASA is and what its essential vision is regarding its work. Church's Auxiliary for Social Action is a national voluntary organization that seeks to strengthen the underprivileged and promote the efforts of marginalized communities of the Indian society beyond any ethnic, religious, or political barriers towards sustainable development leading to social justice and self-sufficiency. CASA also extends emergency aid to victims of natural or man-made disasters. And CASA has been engaged in these humanitarian activities for the last 75 years, which is a long time. There are many of the people sitting here, either they belong to the CASA family or they are from open society. Civil society, as we say. This afternoon I spent some time with the civil society leader. I said, you are civil. You are civilized. The very fact that a civil society is civil, government should listen to us. In a way, the NGOs, I don't know, there's a beautiful term at all. The NGOs are helping the government. No government can do all these things with one go. We need NGOs. We need social organizations. We need service organizations. So people are out there crying for help. Those who are not heard, those who are not visible too much. We know our netas are very busy. Always they are busy. But this was an exception. A minister coming all the way from the heat of the Gujarat election to Delhi, all the way to Delhi, to speak about his own personal experience with the villagers of India. Friends, I will not be talking for long. But CASA, as an organization consisting of 25 Protestant and Orthodox churches in India, firmly believes that we all human beings are created, as we hear it again and again, in the image and likeness of God. So we believe and affirm that every individual is precious, valuable. It cannot be replaced, irreplaceable. May I repeat, every individual, irrespective of religion, language, or politics, is precious to God and to us. This is the platform from which we in CASA launch our programs. We have no other consideration or bias, but we think every individual, an Adivasi or Dalit or a politician, whoever it is precious in the eyes of God. If you do not take care of those people who are neglected and marginalized, it is a sin against humanity. We acknowledge that. CASA has been in this work for such a long time. We have the present director here with me, with us. We have almost all the staff members of the CASA. For a few months now, they have been working and working and working. As John Milton would have it, scorned delights and lived laborious days. That is from John Milton. They scorned delights and lived laborious days. Literally, this is the kind of life they had. And once again, as I did in the afternoon, on behalf of this family, I thank from my heart each and every member of the CASA family for the wonderful work you have been doing, especially for this arranging for this celebration. Let us give them a hand. Since we reckon every individual as irreplaceable, before us there is no consideration of rich or poor, Vanavasi or Adivasi, as they say, Dalit or no Dalit, this religion, that religion, this party, that party. No, we have human beings before us. Even talking about minorities, sometimes I quarrel with people who say you are a minority. Who is a minority? We are Indians. When I go abroad, people, I tell them, I am primarily an Indian, then a Christian. I am an Indian primarily. I am proud of that. How can you say I am a minority? I belong to this country. This is my homeland. And I love it. I am proud of that. But there are people out there in villages, Adivasis, who never come to the limelight at all. We have some social help organizations here and there. CASA is there. But still I feel there are thousands of people who do not get care from anyone. They are either neglected or they have no access to the amenities which are available for others. Because all churches should recognize that. Our sermons will never do. It will expire in the air. But what are we doing as churches? In the end, the Master will come and challenge us. I was hungry. I was in Chhattisgarh. I was thirsty. I was sick. I was put behind bars. What did you do? Our sermons will come to naught. I am challenging myself. Let us be human beings first. Real human beings. CASA, I believe, for some years I have been in constant touch with CASA family. CASA has been striving along this path. how and where to help those people whom he designated unfortunate. They are not unfortunate at all. We are continuing our journey. Usually we use the word journey. We are not sitting there in the office. We are taking a journey throughout. You know, CASA is active in 26 states in the Union of India. 26 states, remember. And our friends from overseas, they are helping us, helping our people in need. I won't say CASA, our people. People helping people in India or abroad. The people are the masters. Sometimes our netas say you are our masters. But the peoples matter. Their pains matter. Their privations matter. Let us recognize that. This is a very important day in the history of CASA. This is an occasion to celebrate and ask, what are we celebrating? It is an occasion again to give thanks to God for being with CASA and invigorating it. We are celebrating life, human life. Sometimes we are celebrating poverty. We are celebrating compassion as we heard it. We are getting pained with the pained. We are celebrating God's love. Sometimes God's judgment too. So one aspect is celebration, and that is our due. At the same time, we are also thankful to God for sustaining not just CASA, but the people of this country, sustaining the mission and work of CASA for the last 75 years. We must be really thankful to God. And through the years, the leaders in CASA, Major Michael before the present director, they have been working very hard. And of course, our partners from abroad, they have been with us in this journey. Please continue to be with us. The society is changing, the world is changing, but human beings will remain the same. Humanity remains the same. Whatever happens in Russia or anywhere, human being is the same. Pain is the same. Hunger is the same for all people, to whatever religion you belong to. Hunger and thirst is common for all, irrespective of religion or language. So let us thank God for CASA. Let us thank our overseas partners. Thank all of you who have come here to be part of the celebration. The whole day we were having one function or the other. This morning we assembled at the Cathedral of the Redemption, only to thank God for CASA and what it has been. I felt so happy about it. We were singing joyously. In the afternoon we have one social discussion, which I could not attend fully, and now we have the open meeting. Thank you once again on behalf of CASA. I especially thank our director who looks tired. I told him after 9 p.m. today, even I told his wife, he's sitting there, you should take him home. She is also leaving tomorrow 10 o'clock to some other state, letting her some rest. Sir, please leave for 8 hours together tomorrow. He looks very tired. I am leaving tonight or early morning to Kerala because tomorrow is Sunday. So greetings to you all once again. I must stop somewhere. I feel like talking, but I must stop somewhere. I'm a teacher, so if you switch on, it will go on like that. So thank you once again, all the agencies related to CASA. May God bless you. Again, a good welcome and dhanyavad too. Welcome and dhanyavad to every one of you. Thank you very much. May God bless you.
When felicitations are going on, there is a man I cannot not talk about. He began his services with CASA as a field officer in 1981 and rose to the ranks of Chief Zonal Officer of CASA East Zone. In his time of 41 years, In CASA, he has touched many lives, uplifted many souls, and he continues to mentor and influence many grassroots leaders, civil society workers, and leaders of the global church through his dynamic leadership. He has been extensively contributing to churches in India and the global church as a whole to engage in responsible diaconal ministry. A passionate ecumenical leader and a strong promoter of inclusive development, former moderator of ACT Alliance, which is a network of 147 faith-based organizations from 125 countries across the globe, a CASA stalwart and the director of CASA since 2001. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together as we felicitate Dr. Sushant Agrawal. May I please request Tapanji, who has very fondly agreed to felicitate our director himself. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Tapanji. Next on, we would like to felicitate the founder secretary of Samarpan Mahila Vikas Kendra, an organization founded in 2002 committed to the socio-economic empowerment of women. Samarpan has been lending a helping hand to the women of Baiga and Adivasi tribes in Mandla and Indori districts of Madhya Pradesh since its inception. Presently, Mrs. Preeti Patel is also serving as the president of Bal Kalyan Samiti, Mandla, which is actually a committee formed under the Juvenile Justice Act to work for and care for the protection of children with the powers of first-class magistrate. Please welcome Mrs. Preeti Patel. And I would request Anita to please come forward and felicitate her. Thank you, Nita. Thank you, ma'am. Felicitations को ही जारी रखते हुए आज आई एम वेरी प्राउड टू से कि हमारे बीच में 4 ऐसे कम्युनिटी लीडर्स हैं जो हमारे देश के 4 कोनों से आए हैं और वो ऐसे लोग हैं जिनकी जिंदगियों को कासा ने कहीं ऐसे छुआ है कि वो लोग जब एक शायद कमजोरी को अपने अंदर महसूस करते थे आज वहीं पे they have been strengthened. Maybe they had been feeling weak once, but now they have been strengthened and they have been positively influenced by CASA. And not just that, they have been influenced positively, they are now influencing their communities to rise up and rise to the occasion. I would like to invite जितने हमारे community leaders आए हैं north, south, east and west से कि वो लोग आगे आएं और हम उनका भी अभिनंदन अपने बीच में करना चाहेंगे. At this juncture, as they come forward, I would like to share something with you. Celebrating 75 years of work and service to the nation in particular, its most marginalized people, CASA launched a very innovative campaign. It was a plantation drive which recognizes and honors people's close links with the nature. Almost 3 lakh fruit-bearing saplings and medicinal saplings have already been planted, and we aim to plant 7.5 lakh saplings by the end of 2023. और इसीलिए आज हम इन लोगों का अभिनंदन फूलों से और उन saplings से करेंगे क्योंकि ये वो लोग हैं जो हम में से सबसे ज़्यादा nature के close रहते हैं. These are the people whose lives are entwined with nature, and we would like to felicitate them with nature. Can I request Mrs. Nirmala Fen to kindly come forward and felicitate? She is Srimati Bholibai Birhor from North Zone. She is Mrs. Nirmala Fen, who is the board member of CASA. We have requested her to kindly felicitate Mrs. Bholibai Birhor. Bholi Bai Birhor is actually she's a mother of 7 children and has been connected to CASA since 2008. 2008 से भोली भाई CASA के साथ जुड़ी हुई हैं. And she actively participates in the Gram Panchayat and is a part of decision-making processes now. Thank you, Nirmala ma'am. Shukriya Bholi bhai. Next on, अगली हम लोग felicitate करेंगे श्रीमती बनीता नायक को. She is from CASA East Zone. She has been blessed with 2 children. She is a single mother and she works as a health worker for lymphatic filariasis patients in Banmalipur under CASA's program. And after losing her husband, she actually found her strength when she started working as a health worker. हम इनका अभिनंदन करना चाहेंगे. ये बनीता, हम बनीता जी का अभिनंदन करना चाहेंगे. And I will request our board member, Mrs. Pushpa Wagmare. Pushpa ma'am, please come forward and felicitate Banita ji. And later on, I'll be requesting Dr. Oliver and Reverend Asir Ebenezer to come and do the felicitations of 2 more community leaders. Thank you, Pushpa ma'am. Thank you, Vanita. Shri Ananda Raj, who is from CASA South Zone, has been an active CASA's youth club member since his college days, and he has continued even after. He has reached out to his community members and helped them many times. He has also been a facilitator for several awareness programs on health, education, environment, and women issues. And he's covered 400 villages in Nellai district, which was duly recognized by the district administration there as well. Dr. Oliver, our board member, has felicitated Anandaji. Lastly, we will be felicitating Sri Suresh Shantaram Bagul, who's from CASA West Zone. He belongs to a very scheduled caste family from the district of Ahmednagar, Maharashtra. His parents were active members of People's Action for Transformation process under CASA, and he has continued this association and worked hard to strengthen the community ownership over livelihood, land rights, right to food, Manrega and PDS. Member of Maharashtra Straight Forum now, we would like to felicitate Sri Suresh Shantaram Bagul, and I will request Reverend Asir Ebenezer, who's not just an ex-officio member of CASA board but also the General Secretary of NCCI, to felicitate him. Thank you so much. Moving on, CASA's broad and wide fabric of social work and the journey through these past 7 decades comprises not just efforts but also our learnings. Combining and bringing together these efforts and learnings and the candid reflections on the impact generated by our organization, CASA, as I told you earlier, has compiled 5 publications that include a coffee table book, which has already been released by our chief guest, a Platinum Jubilee book titled God's Love in Action, the Prophetic Work and Witness of CASA, Messages and Greetings, which is a compilation of all the messages and greetings which we received from the government representatives, our overseas partners, and our well-wishers and supporters here, CASA souvenir and a visual documentary. And on this occasion of Platinum Jubilee, we express a deep sense of honor and privilege to be releasing these invaluable publications. We have already released the coffee table book, so second on, we will now release the Platinum Jubilee book, God's Love in Action, Prophetic Work and Witness of CASA, and I will request Bishop Bhanu, who's actually put in his blood and sweat in bringing out this book, to kindly come and introduce it.
Thank you, Ekta. Honorable Chairman of CASA, Your Grace Yakub Mararenis, respected Director, Dr. Sushant Agrawal, Mrs. Preeti Patel, the Honorable Chancellor of Schwartz, Dr. Oliver, Your Grace, Bishop John Dang, and Honorable General Secretary of National Council of Churches, Reverend Asir, heads of the civil society organizations, overseas friends, partners, my friends. It's a unique blessing for me to introduce this book, God's Love in Action, the prophetic work and witness of CASA. A book that makes us to refer to it time and again is a rich gift. I promise that this book would be a gift to you as it traces the experiences of 13 people, of their reflection of the prophetic work and witness of CASA. They are an integral part of CASA's work, and the best part of this book is the narratives of the people from the grassroots who have shared their transformative leadership by the work of CASA. I am sure that you would not only enjoy it, but you will be inspired with this book. With these words, I request our Honorable Chairman, Bishop, Your Grace, Dr. Yaqub Mar Irenaeus, to release this book.
When our chairperson releases the book, I'll request Most Reverend Johan Dang, Bishop Sunil Bhanu himself, and Dr. Eva Margaret to come on the dais and receive the released book. Thank you so much. Next on, we have the messages and greetings, which, as I told you, is a compilation of the messages and greetings. And I would request Joycia, my colleague, to please come and introduce this to you.
Respected dignitaries on the dais, a CASA chairperson, Metropolitan His Grace, Yaqub Mar Irenaeus, my dear director, Dr. Sushant Agrawal, CSO, founder director of Samathan, Mrs. Preeti Patel, and all our esteemed guests. With great delight and honor, we present you the messages and greetings of CASA received on this Platinum Jubilee. I am overjoyed and very much pleased to give a very brief overview and introduction to the messages and this greeting compilation. We have the messages received from CASA governance and leadership. We have greetings and messages from governors and chief ministers of various states. We are also delighted to share that we have messages from religious leaders like His Holiness Dalai Lama. We have greetings from various Christian leaders and other faith leaders as well. It's also a pleasure to share with you, we have our international partners who are very warmly send us their greeting from all over the world. CASA feel honored and very pleased as it presents this collection, which is actually a reflection and acknowledgement of our work with the community, and our contribution in nation building, and even our international presence. Ladies and gentlemen, we present you this Platinum Jubilee messages and greetings to you this evening.
Thank you, Joycia. And I will now request Reverend Dr. Denzel Fernandez, who's the General Secretary of Indian Social Institute and is gracing us with his presence this evening, to kindly come on the dais and release this compilation. And I would also request Sri Jagdananji once again, Mrs. Pushpa Wagmare and Reverend Asir Ebenezer to come forward and receive the released compilation. We would now move on to CASA Souvenir, and I will invite Priyank, my colleague, to kindly introduce it to you.
Thank you, Ekta ma'am. Good evening, everyone. I'm pleased to introduce the next publication for the evening, the CASA Souvenir. This publication comprises of compliments and advertisements from various supporters and well-wishers of CASA. The publication also includes the names of our generous donors who have wholeheartedly donated for our cause. I would like to extend my sincere thanks on behalf of CASA to all the supporters who have advertised and donated to make our Platinum Jubilee celebration a great success. Thank you.
I would now request Mrs. Iris D. Agrawal, who's the wife of our director, Dr. Sushant Agrawal, to please come on the dais and release the CASA Souvenir. And Ms. Nirmala Fen, Mr. Harsh Chetli, who's with us, and Ms. Meenu Srivastava to kindly come forward and receive the released publication. Thank you so much, everyone. My colleagues are distributing a copy of messages and greetings to you, and we'll be happy to share this book with you. Lastly, we'll be releasing the documentary, which has been specially made for this occasion, and I'll request the force behind this documentary, my colleague Arushi, to please come forward and introduce it.
Good evening, everyone. I'm pleased to introduce the documentary film which we have made for the Platinum Jubilee. This documentary will give you glimpses of our work in development sector for last 75 years. This film is about our love, our compassion, and our selfless service for the community we work for. Due to time constraint, we will play a teaser for you, but however, you can watch the full film during the dinner time, and also you can watch the film in our social media handles @CASA India. Hope you will like the film, and please share your valuable feedbacks with us. Thank you.
May I now, I have to introduce two very special people here. Firstly, I'd like to acknowledge Mr. Bhuvan Chandra, who's here this evening. He's from Mass Productions, and he's the man who's actually put this documentary together for us. Bhuvan, could I please request you to kindly rise on your, wherever you are, so we all could see you. Thank you so much for helping us come out with this documentary. It's a beautiful piece of creativity, and I would encourage and request all of you to please watch it and share it with your friends. I'd also like to acknowledge the presence of Mr. Puneet Sharma. Puneet essentially is an independent filmmaker, journalist, creative director, and a writer with an experience of around 26 years. He has directed, written, and conceptualized various ad films, documentaries, and written a couple of feature films in the past. Some of his TV shows are Savdhan India, Crime Patrol, Special Squad, Code Red, Science May Twist, and Aapki Kacheri, which is actually the Kiran Bedi show. His documentaries Pradhan Mantri and the Bharatvarsh, hosted by Shekhar Kapoor and Anupam Kher, were appreciated across the country at all levels. I am so delighted to have presence of Mr. Puneet Sharma amidst us this evening. Puneet, may I also request you to kindly rise wherever you are so that we could acknowledge your presence. Thank you so much for being a part of this celebration. We are delighted to have you. And I'll now request Katie, who is our special guest from Umkor, to kindly come up on the stage and play the teaser trailer of this documentary for you all.
Thank you. It's my honor to say play for this documentary, please.
I think this is a technical glitch which we really cannot help at this time. There's some problem with the wiring right there. So as Arushi has already shared with you, you can watch this documentary on CASA social media handles, and I firmly believe that you're going to like it. I would also like to acknowledge the presence of Miss Madhumita Ghosh, who's here this evening. She is the force behind the coffee table book. She has not just written for it, she has also to a very great extent conceptualized it, and I would like to acknowledge her presence and thank her for being here. We have finally moved on to a stage where we must thank you all, and to deliver the vote of thanks, I'd like to call upon Anita, my colleague.
Thank you, Ekta. Good evening, honorable chief guests, respected dignitaries and my friends. अब ये समय आ गया है कि हम उन सभी को धन्यवाद दें जिन्होंने कि इस आयोजन को सफल बनाने में अपना बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण योगदान दिया है, और इस काम को करने की जिम्मेदारी मुझे दी गई है. I feel privileged to have been asked to propose a vote of thanks on this occasion. On behalf of the organization, I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to our esteemed guest, Shri Fagan Singh Ji Kuliste, Minister of State for Rural Development, and his team, though he has left, but we are thankful to him. I am thankful to our esteemed National Board members, which includes our chairperson, vice chairperson, treasurer, and all other board members. I take this opportunity to extend a very hearty vote of thanks to all speakers and participants from civil society sector in the afternoon session for sharing with us your thoughts and inputs, and also those who were with us in the morning session. We are thankful to all of you. A big thank you to our resource sharing partners who have come from different parts of the world to celebrate the joy with us. We have not forgotten our community. हम अपने समुदाय को भी नहीं भूले हैं आज, और हम उन समुदाय के जिनके साथ हमने लास्ट 75 ईयर्स से काम किया है, हम उन समुदाय का बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद करते हैं. A great thank you to all of them. A big thank you to all stakeholders and supporters who have contributed generously to make this event successful. We are thankful to our banking partner, Indian Overseas Bank. A special thank to AU Small Finance Bank for their sponsorship for the event. Also, this occasion is graced by the presence of our chartered accountants, auditors, advocates, vendors, and consultants. We are thankful to all of them. A big thank you to the media person from PTI and Doordarshan who have come to cover this event. We are thankful to them. An event like this cannot be organized overnight. The wheel starts rolling weeks ago. It requires planning and bird's eyes for details. A great thanks to our director, head of the program, and other senior management of CASA who have been inspirational to us and have provided leadership from time to time. We have been fortunate enough to be backed by a team of very motivated and dedicated colleagues of CASA. A big thank you to all my colleagues who are present here and also those who are not here, but they have been working day and night. I sincerely apologize if I have missed someone. Thank you once again to everyone who have graced this occasion. It has been a great pleasure. Thank you.
Before we finally close for the evening, there's a special announcement for you all, which our chairperson would like to make.
Friends, I bring you glad tidings of great joy. We have all been working very hard towards this day. Tomorrow is Sunday, and as a mark of our Jubilee, our happiness, the celebration, our thanks to our staff, and thanks to Almighty God, Monday is going to be a holiday for CASA, entire CASA. So enjoy the long weekend. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. That was much needed, and we really appreciate this decision. Thank you. CASA, 75 years of existence in the social development sectors testifies the organization's ability to evaluate, adapt, and evolve. CASA looks to the future with hope, building on its strong commitment to the nation and its people, working with the communities for a better world where peace, justice, and equality prevail. The story of metamorphosis of CASA continues. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for being a part of this celebration and gracing us with your august presence. It was a pleasure hosting you, and we'll see you again when CASA completes another milestone in its life. Thank you very much. Please do join us for dinner. It is right outside, and my colleagues will be there guiding you. And we will finally close the evening with National Anthem. May I please request you all to kindly rise on your seats.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे